Hello and welcome, my dueling insect leaves. So, KingOhger. And we finally get a battle that I wouldn't even say we finally get it, because it doesn't need to happen this early, though it's kinda cool that it does. And with the conclusion of it, I'm getting ahead of myself. So, yeah, let's get into this episode of KingOhger. Spoiler, it's again a pretty great one. Episode 8. King and Prince in Trial by Combat. Okay, dude. Yeah, last episode I said I don't like that guy, and that's even worse now. Because, okay, you can have your opinion and side with Rakles. Stupid, but I guess I am a viewer and not in the world, so okay. However, don't attack children, come on. That's going way too far. Figures it was Kaguragi who suggested that trial by combat thing. I guess his plan is to side with whoever wins, so he can get the most out of it. Then again, Kaguragi is very hard to read, because he does care a lot for his people. We have seen that, and I think that feeling is genuine. And he has to know that Rakles would have his people suffer without caring, right? So he should side with Gira, right? But maybe that's the grand scheme behind everything he does here, so... this guy is a riddle. And I honestly like that. Well, those are some high and mighty words from you, Rakles. I honestly also think that right now Gira does not have a chance against you. And honestly, from a writing perspective, Gira shouldn't win in episode 8 of potentially 48. So, yeah, while you sound pretty conceited here, I guess you will somehow win in the end without actually killing Gira, because imagine a Sentai killing of the main character. That would be something we haven't seen yet. Could be interesting. Okay, now this is kind of a bombshell drop. The Fury of the Gods could have been solved if Rakles or his parents, we don't really know that, because yeah, Ran was a child, sure, though was Rakles king already? How much older is Rakles than the other kings and queens? Oh well, yeah, if they took action. But even back then, they did not take action. And, well, Kaguragi here says the past is in the past, but he's not facing her. I think he suffers from that as well, so... I guess there's a lot we still have to see. And the Bagnarok, of course, have plans of their own, wanting to kidnap Gira, because controlling Gira means controlling the KingOhger, which in this world is literally controlling God, I guess. Because KingOhger seems to be very powerful, and I guess we still haven't seen all the secrets yet. With it being episode 8 after all. And yeah, Deathnarok's advisor here, I really think he will pull the strings in the end. And probably doing something together with Rakles. Or maybe even Kaguragi. There's so much going on in the show, it's so interesting, and I can't wait to find out. But then again, I don't want to find out all that early, because I want that to be sprinkled out throughout the show. For obvious reasons. Okay, more information, which is good. Gira doesn't remember when he was kidnapped, which... that is not that surprising. Like, he wonders eating... He wonders? He remembers eating that... rainbow... that pudding, and nothing much else. He didn't even remember being a prince after all. But Rakles and Bushima are confirmed to be the only ones who know what has actually happened back then. Who is Bushima though? I think it's that one advisor that's quite obvious in the know, because we have seen him interact with Gira as a child, so yeah, makes sense. But yeah, I also guess that something doesn't add up here, and Rakles in some way is responsible for Kira. Who's Kira? For Gira being abducted. Though why? And that's the real question. There's more to Gira than we know. Because Rakles is the older one. He would have been king anyway, even with Gira being around. Especially if you think it like this. If he has kept Gira around, he could have kept him under control far more easily as if Gira is like right now out in some orphanage and stuff. So, what did he gain from that actually, except getting his brother out of the way? Which probably wouldn't have been such a big problem in the first place. I'm going one step beyond even. Is Rakles responsible for killing his own parents? This is Sentai, okay, might be a bit dark for that. But sometimes we went even darker places than this, so might be. Tell me what you think down in the comments below. Also, I like this character development, or well, it's not really a development because they were like this before, of the refusal that wasn't possible for Gira. That is not justice, no. If this is a trial by combat, both sides have to agree, though they forced Gira to agree by keeping the orphanage hostage, so that agreement doesn't really work out as it should. It's forced, and thus not a real agreement. And yet again another bit of big information. The stuff that killed Ran's parents is the venom of Scorpy. I guess Scorpy isn't at fault here, but somebody clearly used that. And now thinking about it, Scorpy was sealed under Rita's country. So maybe it was Rita's predecessor or something? Might have been the case though that Scorpy wasn't down there back in the day when the Fury of Gods happened, so we still need more knowledge on that. Oh yeah, that's one thing about him not getting the chance to refuse. He is Gira, he wouldn't have refused anyway, so he is just like that. I like that about him, but you cannot argue that it's not completely stupid because he probably isn't standing much of a chance. He doesn't realize that though. Also, how did they miss this error? Like, I get that wounds and stuff are stuck to them via makeup stuff and such. He's losing one of his wounds though. It looks really weird. And then Kaguragi kills this koi. Yeah, to show how potent the poison is of Scorpy. I think that's not good. Don't harm that animal. I mean, the actual animal wasn't harmed in the filming of this, I'm sure, but Kaguragi lost some points here. I know there is an end goal to this, but like, you should have poisoned his advisor instead. I mean, that won't be that much of a loss, right? But now, here we are. Finally, their battle does begin. The question is, will Rakles use that poison or not? And honestly, I'm not so sure. Like, yeah, Kaguragi said having a secret weapon will be helpful and stuff. But I do think that Rakles not only is way too conceited to feel the need of using such a method against his brother, nor that Rakles actually is weak enough to come to the point where he might consider it even. I think he can beat Gira fine at this point in time. So, I wonder how that will play out. Ah, yeah, Rakles, of course, has a transformation sentence stuff as well, which is kind of the same as Gira's is. It's O Kuwagot, which, well, just comes from O Kuwagata. O meaning king, like in KingOhger or Ohsama. So, yeah, he's just the better version. At least in his mind, I guess. As for looks, O Kuwagata Ohja, that's a lot of O's in there, is just a grey or silver version of Kuwagata Ohja. I wasn't that sure if the color is actually silver or it might be grey. Honestly, I see it more as grey, though officially it seems to be silver. Can't have a Sentai without a silver or gold ranger nowadays, I guess, so, Then again, he is not the extra ranger, just an evil ranger, so no, I'll let that slide for now. Then and then again and again, or something like that. Why isn't he gold, right? Because as against I am against using gold rangers all the time, sometimes it just fits, and with his conceited kingly behavior, yeah, gold would be the way to go, right? It's like with 2 Kaiser. Like, yeah, they overuse gold rangers, but 2 Kaiser needs to be gold. That was the right choice in that case. And this, I don't know, but maybe he will get upgraded or something? Remains to be seen. I mean, he also has a gold sword, so that would fit as well. And as Rita is the judge here, she tries to have a good look at the battle, but those 3 guards drag her away. This does not seem suspicious at all, right? Like, is Rakles doing something here? Oh no, it's those 3! Disguised as guards. Well, that changes anything. Everything. Not anything, but everything. Also, yeah, they have a plan. They just didn't tell Rita, and thus they had to pull her back like this. What is that plan? Well, they want Rakles to kill Gira. Wait. You wanna obtain Gira that way? No, of course not. Because Kaguragi has exchanged that venom with just an anesthetic. So Gira will seem dead, and Rita, as the judge, can declare him as dead, and thus they can hide him. So to the public, he will be seen as dead, without really being dead, and thus they can work from the shadows against Rakles. And I bet nothing will go wrong with this plan. Nothing can go wrong with this plan. Right? Oh, Kaguragi. I don't want to say messed up. Like, with him, this seems like it could also be just on purpose. But let's see how it turns out. And yeah, obviously, this grin and him not following them but going his own way, this was all according to Keikaku. Now, this is surprisingly direct coming from someone like Gira. He just straight out asked, did you get rid of me somehow? Which, okay, I didn't think he cared about that all that much, but, well, here we are. And what is Rakles' answer to that? He is avoiding the question. Especially after Gira told him, well, you're kinda shaking now that I asked. You're not fighting at full strength anymore. Guess a psychological hit is worth more than a physical one sometimes. Also, maybe I gave Gira not enough credit here. With his very, very cool theme song going on in the background. He strikes back. And pretty well at that. He puts up such a good fight. He might actually be able to win this. Though there's the poison Rakles has still, right? He could still use that. Also, I love this scene while that attack is going on. With them being unmasked, kinda. Not really, it's just basically their head image, you could say. That's just a great shot. That's filmography done very, very well. And honestly, this whole battle, especially after they went outside here, it's such a great choreography. It looks so good. And the light effects they have on the swords and everything, they outdid themselves. This is like, especially after the dumpster fire of CG that Dom Brothers was. Oh, this is so good. This just looks amazing. But then Gira's best friend in the whole wide world, his mega BFF, is coming to rescue him. Something is off here. Is that one of Rackles' plans? So, what about the poison though? Well, in the end he doesn't use the poison on Gira, but on Yanma. Wait, what? I mean, Ran is probably able to save him, right? We don't lose Yanma, right? Then again, with that behavior from before, this is not Yanma, is he? Well, turns out that Yanma, or well, that fake Yanma, is a Bagnarok. And that is completely according to Rackles' plan, telling us a lot of things. First off, what tells us this is completely according to Rackles' plan? Well, the image was a bit distorted until the scene happens, so all the civilians in the kingdom see Gira helping a Bagnarok, painting him even more as a villain. How convenient, right? But, to do that, Rackles does need to have contact to the Bagnarok. And I'm guessing it's that advisor guy. I should really look up his name and remember that. And they not only work against Rackles' kingdom, but also against the Bagnarok kingdom, so... This is not a war on 2 or 3 fronts. This is a Rubik's Cube of war. And then Kaguragi does something. We don't see what though. Typical. But exciting. And I would say, as I thought, Gira loses in the end. Though, the thing is, yes, he does lose. But it's because of the trickery that Rackles used here. So, you cannot, like, put that as a real loss. It was still not clear who's actually stronger in a fair fight. So I do like that, because we wanna have a big fight between Rackles and Gira. Not in episode 8 though, right? That conclusion to their story needs to be around like episode 30 or something. Definitely later. Of course, all depending on how the story flows after this, which, yeah, I have no idea. I have not seen episode 9 yet, for obvious reasons. Nobody has. Or maybe a bit of test screeners did. Oh well. But well, all 4 friends have, of course, helped him, and Ran has treated him. Nothing vital was injured. And somehow he survived that fall. That very, very deep fall. Guess that's what you get from being born in Sentai World. Yeah, but what does Gira do after that? Go straight back and fight again. You should have put him in chains, honestly. For his own good. No, they actually managed to stop them. But what about the Bagnaroks that are attacking the city now? That's kinda bad. Will Rackles do something about that? I mean, he tries to, but the episode ends with him being killed by this locust-looking thing that looks like those things from the Fury of Gods. Yeah, I doubt that he's actually dead, but... Huh. Now, what is this thing about? That's a great cliffhanger to cliff on. Hang on. Would make more sense here. Too. Huh. But yeah, this episode was great. The battle was awesome. The story was awesome. We got some information that's very useful, but not too much. Every box you could check for awesomeness is checked in this episode. This is only episode 8, but it's going so strong. And that makes me so happy. And I probably sound like a broken record, but I really love this season. If the ending will be good, this will be my favorite Sentai season. I'm calling it now. And I'm hoping that it will be. Because the best case scenario is that my favorite Sentai season will always be the most recent one. Because that would mean they get better each time. Which is not the case, but if that would be the case, with everything, be it games or shows like this, you only win. Though that is a very utopian thought, so that's not gonna happen. For this though, well, we'll see. We will see. Oh, look at that. It's time for you to tell me in the comments down below what you thought about this episode. What a great time to have, right? So do that immediately. Also, don't forget to befriend the like and subscribe button as well as that little bell so that I can go to the Ragnarok and trick you. Wait, maybe that's a bad thing. Maybe don't click them after all. What you definitely should do though is check out the links down in the description below to my Twitter, Instagram and Discord where I post stuff, keep you updated, all the good things, you know what happens there. My affiliate link to the Humble store, as well as my merch store and my Twitch, where I live stream every Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. I hope to see you over there as well, and until next time, bye-bye!